team print. Gabriel is a knob.
Not how you spell knob.
Go to 10. Run. Well, I don't think you can say fairer than that. Hello, everyone.
That's not how you spell knob.
This is Yahtzee Croshaw here, and here's my friend, a knob. But enough of that. We're playing Commodore 64 emulation style.
Whee!
In order to play Night Shift, a game I used to play when I was young. And to get the full experience of Commodore 64, we're going to wait for the whole loading to finish.
This is the kind of thing you'd yell at me for not editing out.
Well, partly because there's a couple of little things I need to clarify.
Okie dokie.
You know, we've said a lot of horrible things over the weeks, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I don't recall ever seeing a response as vocal as to the one we got last week when I said 30 FPS is sometimes as smooth, if not smoother, than 60 FPS in games.
What did I say? When you said that, I was like, just ting! I could hear the keyboards, I could hear them, and it's like, I'll tell you different!
Well, not that this is an invitation to continue the argument, because I think there is an argument. I think this is a subjective thing I have.
Well, there can be. Well, see, my argument is, yeah, you were discussing what you have as a subjective viewpoint. And again, we come from an era when, you know, these things weren't really a thing. Like, we used to play games on CRT. Like, I've played video games on black and white TV screens the size of, like, a playing card almost.
Yeah,
so,
me too, actually.
I think it might be easier for us to just not notice the difference because we're not so keyed to it.
I think it's just because I think something that looks like it's been shot on film kind of looks nicer to me than something that looks like it's been shot on tape.
Yeah,
because
I
tape
get that
looks
a little bit as well.
I think it's possible to be too severe and too crisp. It's like putting a blur filter on so you can't see the individual pixels in a piece of pixel art.
Well, it's like how some of those TVs have a mode that makes everything look like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Like, and I fucking hate that. It just looks hideous.
So there's that. So
what was your point?
Well, the point was, I just wanted to clarify that.
So it was a personal observation.
Because everyone was going, of course 60 FPS looks better than 30 FPS. It's like 30 more than 30 FPS.
Yeah. This is like how people can say that they enjoy records more than they enjoy CDs, even though the sound quality may be like demonstrably better.
So cunningly, you can't argue about this anymore because it's subjective. Ha ha. Oh yes, and thank you to the one person who pointed out that Rick Mail has done voice work for the games Hogs of War and Bud Tucker in Double Trouble. Thank you also to the 12 million other of you who also pointed that out but couldn't be asked to pay the slightest bit of attention to the comments and see if anyone else had pointed that out. Oh, we've started.
This is why I'm glad I don't really read the comments anymore.
Well, it's important to know that the internet's on your side.
That can be your job.
The internet can turn against you in nasty ways.
Yeah, like when you said that like 30 FPS was better than 60 apparently.
So this is Night Shift. It's a game by LucasArts you might not be familiar with. It's not
a game studio anymore.
Not a lot of people know about it. Yeah, it's really kind of indie and hipster.
In order will cause no problems. However, if shifts are worked out of sequence, one of those pesky
boring.
Works.
Do we want to be Fred or Fiona? Fix it.
Is there like a difference?
Nope. Entirely cosmetic.
Oh, okay.
Well, since we're both men,
shit, then.
Let's be Fred Fix It.
Okay.
See Ubisoft, it's that easy.
That's so heteronormative of you, Artsy.
And now...
I was feeling female today.
And now more loading. Welcome to the cassette era.
Cassette era. Era. Yeah.
Still, I think it's doing better than a lot of console games these days, especially on the Xbone. It was like 2 hours between putting the disc for Rise, Son of Rome in and before I could actually play the bloody thing, not even counting intro sequences and the like.
Did it have to do a big install?
Yep. Firstly from the dashboard, and then firstly within the game. So you got
seems a bit odd.
Got to see a lovely progress bar going for a while, and then you got to see another progress bar going for a while, but this time with nice Roman lithographic stuff around it.
Shit going on.
So the reason why I picked this game is because I remember not too long ago we were talking about how in the Commodore 64 era you could just have a game where you play someone just doing a job. Because we were talking about
mowing a lawn.
Because, stuff like Viscera Cleanup Detail is not a new spin on video gaming, it's actually quite an old one.
Well, I remember on the Mega Drive there was a shitty box sliding puzzle called Shove It, the Warehouse Simulator.
Well, that's not exactly simulating someone's day at work, is it? That's just a puzzle game.
Well, yeah, essentially. But still.
Night Shift reminds me a little...
What is... Okay, what? What's the night shift at? Like, night shift where?
Okay, well, you're a night shift janitorial custodian maintenance staff type fellow.
Okie dokie.
Working at a toy factory.
Ah.
And
your little ones.
Your job is to ensure that the machine that you're tasked to constructs dolls in accordance with what you were ordered to create that shift. As long as you create the minimum quota of what you have to make. I'm trying to work
out what the gameplay is from this. I'm guessing like...
Well, you'll be interested.
Match. Is it a match thing where you gotta...
Nope.
Oh, okay. Is it a platformer?
Well, let's wait and see, shall we?
This is a long load time.
Yes. So how's your week been, Gabe?
I finished my exams for the semester.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Did you pass?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess so. Well, at least for history.
Have you acquired more skills you have no use for whatsoever?
Well, that's life, really, isn't it?
We were talking about this earlier. Like, you just seem to accrue skills you don't use. Like, all that physical working out. You don't even bounce anymore.
I don't need... Well, exercise and good health is it's kind of like picking the perks in Fallout that let you like learn shit faster. Like that's a background perk. You don't specifically use it. Like you don't just go, I'm gonna use exercise at like a fucking fridge or some shit.
Well, you don't even have a job.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's about good health. And also it does come in handy. Like when I'm helping friends move and shit, I can move a whole fridge by myself now.
But you're
like
not,
a big one too.
But you're not contributing to society.
Oh, here we go. Says the man who makes knob gags.
Don't knock it, man. Brings the money in.
Well, the contribution is generously applied to that. Is this loaded now? Are we playing the game? Or are we gonna?
Here's the title screen again.
And again, I'm studying to be a teacher. Like that's a fucking contribution, you dickhole.
Hope you enjoyed that revisit of the title screen, because now we're going to load some more.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Sweet Christ! You played games like this, you sad prick.
Well, I got a lot of reading done when I was a C64 gamer.
Hear that, parents? Get your kids a Commodore 64.
Okay, I'm just teasing you. This emulator has a warp speed mode. So,
fuck.
Set course for the next bit. Engage, Mr. Crusher. Pew!
It's still slow. Even at warp speed, it's still slow.
It won't be won't be there for much longer. There we go.
Fucking...
Okay.
Industrial might and logic.
Do you get it?
Huh.
Because it's the lesser-known LucasArts game. It's a pun on Industrial Light and Magic, the LucasArts company. So yes, this is the password screen. Remember passwords?
Yeah.
This is fruit-based.
I see.
But we've just...
Pick all bananas.
I'll just drop a save state there, actually.
Look, your thing's a little stormtrooper.
So our first task is to create 5 stormtroopers.
Oh, okay, so that's a toy you're gonna make.
Okay, ready for action.
It's funny that LucasArts made a game about the most profitable sort of element of Lucas.
Oh, it's just going to load it for a bit more. This is unusually a lot of loading for Commodore 64, actually.
So I suppose LucasArts were like pushing the edges of, gaming capabilities even back in the C64 days.
Shit like Dizzy, you load once and then you just play.
Dizzy.
This takes about 3 times as much.
The first time we sat down and spoke over a video game.
I don't really want to warp speed at this point because... Oh! Here we go. Here's the game. We are the maintainer of this vast Rube Goldberg-style machine. First thing we do is make sure the lights are flashing at a fast pace to keep the power up.
Okay, how do you accomplish this task? What are you doing at the moment?
I'm riding this bike.
Yeah, I mean, what are your hands doing?
I'm just knocking the joystick left and right.
Oh, so it's back, forward, back, forward, back, forward.
Yep, so that's working.
So basically, you're able to jump there.
We're in the workings of a giant machine.
Uh-huh.
And in this first level, there's very little we have to do. Like, in future levels, we might have to make sure the conveyor belts and other things are all moving in the right direction.
Oh, Jesus.
But at this stage, it's fairly straightforward. You'd of course need the manual to know all of this.
Yeah, okay, viewers, I want you to imagine, viewers, right now I'm that bit in Event Horizon where they find the like video message from the crew, and he's just like ripped his eyes out and is holding them out, saying, "Save yourself from hell."
So here we are at the top of the machine. The first thing we do is screw this nut in. That was
a thing you could do?
That makes the washing machine turn.
Okie dokie.
And the boiler's already boiling, so all we have to do is kick the plug in with a rather awkward down and left movement. In the right. There we go.
How do you know what is an activatable?
You trial and error it. So each doll is composed of a body and a head.
Alright.
Your task is to make sure all the conveyor belts and stuff are moving the right way so that the body ends up underneath the head.
Good-o.
So we'll just watch the machine in action.
What happens when you get stunned like that? Like, is it taking lives away? What's it
No.
Okay.
There's no concept of health. There's just a timer, and all you have to do is make sure you've created all the dolls necessary by the time the timer ends.
There's a clog in the torso. Shoot!
So torso down and head down. At the moment, we don't have control over what color the dolls are. Colors will be introduced as the machine acquires more complexity.
Alright, so you finish like this shift, and then it's like, well, that was good, but we shipped a bunch of weird orange stormtroopers.
Everyone likes orange stormtroopers. It can be part of some...
The hit item this Christmas.
And, this is basically the end of the first shift. We've won. We just have to wait for...
Have we?
We just have to see how many dolls will be made before time runs out.
This game is really screwed up in not having Raymond Feist's Powerhouse playing.
We need to take the opportunity to collect items while we're here, because there'll be hazards and stuff added later that we will need items to solve.
Okay, what are the items? Are the items randomly generated? How do you get items?
Well, if you collect them... Yeah, there's one, you see.
Okay, so that's an umbrella.
The umbrella is a quick way to get to the bottom of the machine. The balloon does the opposite.
Alrighty.
The wrench is for screwing the screw back in at the top. The match is for lighting the fires on the furnaces and boilers if they go out.
Do these not... like... How do these spawn?
They just appear in the middle. There.
So just haphazardly?
Yeah, it just materializes like there's a balloon there.
Okay.
I'll just ride all the components up the machine, because health and safety thinks that's a great idea. That is a piranha plant. You use that to get rid of rodents once they're introduced.
Okie dokie.
Because when rodents get in their bitches, they will flip switches and run around and annoy you until you catch them. But they're not introduced.
Sneaky rodents.
They're not introduced in this level. This game reminds you a little bit of Papers, Please in the way it adds complexity with each level. And you're just basically just a job's worth trying to get through life.
With the important distinction that Papers, Please is fun.
Well, I think what makes Papers, Please is the plot.
The music, for some reason, the sound. The sound gets me.
Yeah.
It's the Archer, however you pronounce it, national anthem, and the little noise the klaxon makes when you start calling people in. Yeah. It's just creates...
Papers, Please is a really, really fucking good game. It's elegant, it tells an excellent story, and it's...
simple.
It's satisfying in a rather weird kind of way. There we go. End of shift. This was the easiest level. Because we had no control over the paint, so odds are good. It will have painted the head one colour and the body another a couple of times, and we'll get deducted for that, which is very unfair, I think.
That's bullshit.
But it doesn't take away from your quota, just as long as you make what they say to make.
For using our machine that we set up, designed, and built, we're going to deduct you money. Now Goma Pyle's going to give you some more jobs.
Now we have to make these two.
I'm guessing that's Han Solo and Chewbacca?
I suspect as much, yes.
I think, man.
So, always start with the bike.
There you go. There you go, Slash Fickers, you've got your sound effects.
Figuring out the controls was a bit trial and error in this game.
Huh.
Just cycle 3 items, you have to press space. Everything else is joystick controlled. But because the Commodore 64 only had one button joysticks, I guess
yeah, when it was literally just a fucking stick on a box with a red button on it.
Basically. Ah ha 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 ha. I see a problem here.
What?
This conveyor belt's going the wrong way. And so is this delivery system. As a rule, both of these need to be going anti-clockwise.
Those little guys... Huh, that is a little background art.
Well, those are switches. I did some practicing before recording. So we're still not bothered about paint this time, but I think in the next level we will get access to the paint sprayer.
Ooh.
That's going clockwise as well. Make sure conveyor belts aren't leading into bins. And plug the screw in again.
Yes.
Are you having fun?
This game is really encouraging me to get a job.
I find this game weirdly fun, to be honest.
You're weird.
Well, we know that. So this time you'll notice that the boiler isn't on.
Ooh.
So we'll light the boiler. And this is a bit arcane, and it's a bit hard. I had to look up an FAQ to confirm this, but you have to be boiling it. It has to be boiling, but it can't be making steam from the little vent above the boiler. So you have to take it up to full heat until it's boiling, and then take it down to medium heat. Obviously.
Duh. That's how you also make pasta.
Well, the manual is everything in this age of gaming, isn't it?
Yeah, it was too, actually.
Oh, piranha plant. It's best to collect these before they start introducing...
I was gonna say, like, what happens, like, do they crop up when you need them? Like...
No, they just show up randomly. Like, there's a match. If we didn't have matches, we wouldn't be able to light the boilers and stuff, so you just
just have to, like, jump around until one appears.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Ah.
But they do show up quite a lot.
What is it you say about randomness in game design?
Bad. But this was Commodore 64 days. We didn't know better.
Yeah, this is cave painting, essentially.
What is really fucking annoying, though, is if you fail your quota, you lose the game immediately. You have to start all over again. Not only that, but you have to rewind the tape to the start before you can start again. That's why I'm using save states.
That is fucking magnificent.
But as I said, I guess this... Ooh, extra time. I'll have that. Make more dolls.
Come on, Han Solos.
So, yes. Same way I like Euro Truck Simulator, I just like being able to serve a purpose in my games.
That speaks volumes about your sense of self.
I suppose. So you're happy just to be a spongy parasite your whole life, aren't you? If people...
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm going to university, is to be a spongy parasite for my whole life. That's exactly why I'm doing... That's why I'm doing, like, a Bachelor of Arts in Education, not just a Bachelor of Arts. That is just dead on. You exactly understand how this works.
Those who can't teach, my friend.
Those who can do were taught.
Well, you just a couple of weeks ago, you were saying you were about ready to toss it in and go for professional wrestling instead.
That might have been a facetious remark, Yahtzee. Just a grumble at the, the hassle that having, like, the omnipresent threat of assessment can bring to a student around
many a true
exam
word,
time.
Many a true word is spoken in jest.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I love to be a professional wrestler, but even if I was doing that, that'd be getting along more of the circuses aspect that you seem so proudly to contribute to.
But do you want to teach kids out of, selflessness, or do you just lust for power?
Well,
let me finish that for you. There's no such thing as a selfless act.
No, I know that. Everything is motivated, all altruism is, filtered through the ego, and you have to feel good to do it.
Yes, I was reading Richard Dawkins' excellent book, The God Delusion. Fucking dual-coloured Chewy. And he was endeavouring to explain a theistic argument that states that why do charitable acts exist in nature? Why do we sometimes see animals do selfless things?
Because we're a social species.
Oh, well, not specifically us, other animals. Like, there's a species of bird that will that all live in, like, communities in trees. And some of the male birds will take it upon themselves to put themselves in the greatest risk in order to, like, fly to the top of the tree and do the watch for predators, even though they're the ones most likely to be eaten by predators. And they will, like, fight for this privilege. And there's a simple explanation: it's because the ladybirds love those birds the more. And an act of selflessness an act of charity is basically an enforcement of power and strength. You're saying, look at you have to rely on me. I must be great and everyone should have sex with me instead of you.
Well, I mean that, and, people, risk takers are useful for, like mating purposes.
Yeah, everyone likes kinky sex, don't they? Even them sparrows. See them sparrows wearing gimp
But I mean,
masks.
it's a demonstration of, potential strength. Like, if you go up there and you don't get eaten, that's nature selecting you, I suppose.
Mm.
That's why I impress chicks by dancing in the middle of the street.
I think this is where this is where colour is introduced. We have to make red Indiana Joneses. At least I think they're Indiana Joneses.
That's got to be Indy. That's the hat.
Yeah.
Can you get everything else done and then start the bike, or does it have to all be done in an order?
I generally do the bike first, and it's never really done me wrong. Although once I tried to not do the bike first, and everything fucked up later, so now I stick to doing the bike first.
I suppose it must let you know, like, how everything else is going.
You see the window next to the door? There's 4 lights under it. If one of the lights is red, that means there's a problem needs fixing.
Okie dokie.
Could be a conveyor belt going the wrong way. Could be just the boilers turned off. Now we see the paint vat has been unlocked.
Amazing.
On this occasion, we've just been asked to make red dolls, so we'll just put a splash of red in there. In future, we'll have to make multicolored dolls, so we have to be quick on the paint thing.
So you gotta, like, be standing in the paint thing, dicking around. Like...
Yeah, basically. And just hope the rest of the machine is ticking along all right.
Can it fuck up, like, during? I suppose rats!
Fucking get the fucking piranha plant. There we go. Fucking rodents.
Oh, to live in a world where there was some sort of Venus flytrappy thing that would eat rats.
Oh, I think it turned this switch as well.
Little bastard!
Yeah. The yellow rodent sticks to you.
This is without...
There are other rodents that will try to run away from you.
Okay.
They're the tricksy ones.
This is without a doubt the most boring game selected.
Well, to each their own.
You fucking weirdo.
And that's this level done, basically. Because we don't need to change the colour.
Ooh.
Oh, a balloon.
Balloon!
Do you want a balloon, kid?
Hey, kid.
They all float down here.
You want to see me make a balloon animal? Is that one you can pick up, or is that the one there from eating the rat?
No, that's one I can pick up. Yeah. They'll disappear after eating a rat.
Can you fall in the paint mixer? And then die?
Well, no, you don't die.
Or get like a workers' comp thing?
No, you cannot die. I'm Fred Fix-It, immortal maintenance man.
Cursed by Zeus to forever work Industrial Light and Magic's action figure division.
Industrial Might and Logic. Yeah, that's the point, actually. We're basically just making a load of money for George Lucas here, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that was the fucking joke, is they've simulated the most, the highest earning part of the whole Lucas empire, which is the fucking action figures.
Yeah, and famously... when he made Star Wars, merchandise wasn't a huge thing in the film industry.
They gave it all to him. They gave it all.
So he took a dock in like usual pay if it meant he could have the rights to merchandise, and he ended up being a multi-billionaire.
Squidjillions. Whole new fucking units of currency have to be, like, units of measurement have to be fucking made for.
And then no one said no to him ever again, and that was where the problem lay.
Yeah. You know what? The new ones, I reckon, are going to be bog-standard fucking action-adventure movies with some sci-fi, and they'll probably be actually watchable.
Well, aren't they being written by that bog-standard screenwriter who did the Star Trek, the second one?
No.
Which was a fairly bog-standard modern-day action film script.
The second Star Trek was awful. They just weirdly paced. They literally, in the second Star Trek, they hadn't built up Khan as a villain in any way, shape, or form. So, in order to get this character understood and explained, they called Spock from the future and had him explain to the audience why Khan was bad.
Yeah.
Which...
That's not good storytelling.
I was almost yelling at the screen, like, really? You're gonna call fucking Spock and go, hey, we haven't bothered to show the audience why Khan's evil. We're just relying on, like, a non-diegetic understanding of the character. So why don't we just call, like, fucking Spock and go, yeah, he's evil. Is he? I don't know. I mean, he crushed that guy's head, but that guy was evil.
That's good. That's a good storytelling tip. Go through the whole plot without considering context, and and taking off names and allegiances and see who you think comes across as the bad guy.
Yeah.
That might be a good thing that the American military could have done before they invaded all those countries to fix shit.
Well, I mean, look at Iraq now. It's worked out so great.
I hear Iraq's sort of fallen apart again, hasn't it?
The United States of ISIS.
This is why I told you these governments should stop fussing.
Stop fussing, governments.
Yeah. Yeah. Should have just let Saddam hold on to it. Because he was the devil we knew.
So this is where Fix-It Felix came from, apparently.
No, it's Fred Fix-It.
Completely different character.
Yes, entirely different. One's a surname, and one's, I guess, just some kind of honorific.
It's like a lord or a lady.
Before you see, he can fix it. Hence the honorific. Are we doing Culture Corner then? This seems to have naturally flowed into that. Because I did want to mention that I did watch a film a couple of weeks back that we haven't gotten around to talking about.
Oh, Fantastipotamus.
And that's Six String Samurai.
Oh yeah, we watched that.
Yeah. Which is a post-apocalyptic cult film about an alternative mid-20th century America after a nuclear holocaust where Buddy Holly is enacting an odyssey across the desert to become the king of Las Vegas.
Okay, and to add some extra detail, he is a martial arts Buddy Holly.
Yes.
The Elvis was the king of rock and roll and erstwhile ruler of Lost Vegas.
He's the six-string samurai.
Yeah, and he wanders around with his guitar and his samurai sword, fighting bowlers, scavengers, guys in spacesuits. It's a great. If you love cult cinema, it's absolutely.
So, who the fuck are these characters? Do we think?
E.T. and Tigger or Winnie the Pooh? I mean, the one on the right's got to be E.T.
That's not a Lucasfilm film, though.
Disney owns it. Oh yeah, that was all later. I don't know then. I don't fucking have a clue.
I think on the one on the right might be Hammerhead from the Star Wars canon. I couldn't even venture a guess as to the one on the left, but the important thing is, blobby one on the left is blue, skinny one on the right is red.
Oh, this is gonna fucking suck.
Alright, let's do it!
This fucking game is breaking me.
It's fun! I'm achieving things!
Yeah, Six String Samurai is a really good cult post-apocalyptia.
Well, I wouldn't say it was really good. I'd say it had some weird technical issues, and that I think it was a really weirdly edited film.
That's okay. I need you to understand that is a component of that specific genre.
Don't you mansplain at me, you twat. I thought it was quite distracting and took away from the continuity of each scene.
Film-splain.
Yes,
Can a man mansplain to another man? I'm not sure.
I hate the term mansplaining, but it occurred to me that it's a good word for what you do.
Really?
Like that one time you felt you needed to explain to me what a conversation was.
Sometimes I do feel the need to explain basic ideas to you.
Yes, and that's very patronising, and it drives me up the wall.
Does it hurt Yahtzee's feelings? Does it hurt Yahtzeekin? Is Yahtzeekin oppressed?
Now you're patronising me more. You just patronise with every word and deed. Fucking
rats!
Fucking rat!
Don't worry about me, worry about your shitty rat-infested action figure store.
Rats!
It's flipping switches.
Rats! Rats! Rat!
That's actually a parable of how Disney bought Lucas.
I panic a little when rats appear. Did that come across?
No. I think you need to emote a little more next time. You're a little too conservative with your expression.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Right, what's the first mold we're using? It's Blobby Man that we can't fathom. So that was blue, wasn't it?
You can't fathom the Blobby Man. Yeah, sure.
Yes, it was blue.
Can you combine colors, or is it just like if you switch one, it changes to that color?
You can make purples and greens as well.
Jesus, how do you clear it? Like when you...
There's a little pull chain.
Oh, okay.
It's always kicking when I don't want him to kick.
Stop kicking the little gnomes. You see what I mean? Like, I can see it's a switch now, but because of the little hat, it looks like those things from, like, Gutsman's stage and Mega Man, like the little guys in crash helmets who peek out from underneath and shoot you.
Oh, you mean,
Tell me you know the name of those.
They do have a name.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it is.
It wouldn't surprise me. Like, everything in games back in those days had a fucking name.
I can't remember. But don't take that as an invitation to inform us, 12 million people on the comments.
Of course they will. We don't know a thing on the internet.
This cannot stand.
We're not Google.
Right.
Okay, isn't
now we need
like
to
ET supposed to be other colors?
Well, the color we're asked to employ doesn't seem to have much to do with the color these characters are usually depicted as. So now we just have to man the vat and wait for the heads to change. See, the thing is, I'm not sure at what stage in the process the paint is added to the figures. So we'll probably cock this up a bit.
Maybe you want to duck down and have a look.
No, because the mold's going to change any second now.
It's still pirate teddy bear? I want
to... Oh, I think they've changed.
Yep. Yep, flush it.
And a bit of red.
Alright, check. Like, you're going to have to check.
No. Well, I heard a positive sound, so that means the dolls are coming through all right.
Yeah, but if they're coming through the wrong color, don't you get docked?
Well, it doesn't matter, as long as we just create the minimum the quota says.
There's the industrious working spirit.
That's the job's worth attitude. I think
just do a half-assed job.
Oh, the mold's changed again.
You aren't paying me to give a shit. You may want to push the...
Oops. Okay. Now we put the blue in. Don't you feel
they're all coming out their own colour?
I don't care. Don't you feel fulfilled? Don't you feel we're adding to society? Just think, you could be feeling like this as well if you got a job.
Yeah, this is a fantastic advertisement for jobs.
We're making George Lucas rich and millions of children happy. Well, temporarily, until these figures inevitably break.
Or until the novelty wears off. I mean, that was always my problem with action figures, was like, they're great, and then it's just a lump.
You just had no imagination, that was your problem. You had to come up with your own games, man.
One time, I got, like, a bunch of packs of, caps, like the little red ring runs.
Uh-oh. I think we pissed this up. Bollocks! We didn't create enough red ones. Oh, it's all that fucking around with the lemming earlier.
Fired!
Well, just, reload that.
I'm glad you saved it before we did all this gameplay.
Take 2. Well, it's hard to tell whether or not you've been fucked over.
Did you honestly fucking... How much did you play this, really, when it was out?
A fair bit.
This is tantamount to child abuse. This... God.
Well, it felt like so much more of an achievement.
There were actually fun games on the C64, right? Like, games.
Well, yeah, I didn't play this as much as other ones, I'll admit.
What did you play most? Advertise the C64 to me, given that this is...
I don't know, I played loads of games. I played a lot of Dizzy games. I used to have a collection of 300 of the buggers. Cassettes bought from the local newsagents and stuff. Those were the days.
Who distributed those? Like, did you just wander in with your own game and just stick it in a cassette thing with like a home fucking drawn cover and there's my game?
Well, there were a couple of publishers, like Ocean and the like.
Ocean. I don't know what happened to them. Are they still around in some capacity?
We've had this conversation.
Have we?
Lemming! Lemming! Yeah, so when we were doing, we did a game that Ocean published. And then we...
I'm not saying I doubt you, I just don't remember.
And then once after we did, I think it might have been Jurassic Park. And then we decided to look up what happened to the company.
That's right, they got absorbed into the various...
They got absorbed by someone. I think it was Infogrames. I can't be bothered to check.
Yeah, I don't care that much either. If only we had 300 people to comment about it.
Bugger, I turned the heat down too quick.
What happens if you let it get steamy? Will something happen? Will anything occur?
No, the machine just stops until you make the steam go away.
This is like almost Desert Bus grade dull.
Well, that's the name of the series.
And for those asking, no, we're never going to play Desert Bus. And if you ever are curious as to why, download Penn and Teller Smoke and Mirrors. There are actually some interesting elements to Smoke and Mirrors, and play Desert Bus.
I think everyone knows what Desert Bus is.
Well, yeah, but see, it's easy for people to think it's a funny thing to do until you've done it for more than 10 fucking minutes.
Well, this comes back to what I was about to say about Six String Samurai.
Woo!
In that, Six String Samurai seems to be like the kind of concept which is funnier in concept form.
I don't know, see, I enjoyed it, but then I'm sort of, like, I like that kind of wacky, odd cult cinema. And to me, it had a...
I mean, I don't think the film really holds up. I found it a little boring and weirdly edited. And I didn't really feel that invested by the end.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it.
I mean, there's this...
You might prefer Boy and His Dog. Have you seen that?
No, I think you mentioned it to me at some point.
Are you making red aliens? I thought the other guys were meant to be red.
No, the blobby guys are blue, the other guys are red. That's how I remember it. That's my mnemonic.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I think we'll just...
Hey, there's a match.
Just wait for that. I'm just waiting for that red head to go in so I can change the
colour. I got a match. My butt and your face. I watched a chunk of Beavis and Butthead again last night.
Did you have like something to offer to Culture Corner now that we've done Six String Samurai? Summary of that is cult cinema doesn't necessarily mean good. There, that's it. That's my point.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's under the illusion cult cinema means good.
Just funny idea that sounds funny and makes people on social networks go, lol, need this right away. Does not really hold up to lengthy appraisal.
Well, again, see, I would... I don't disagree with your not liking it. I disagree with the degree of your assessment of it. I think it is strangely shot and edited, but it plays to the style of movie that it is. Like cult movies like that.
I don't think that's an excuse. I think it was just badly edited, frankly.
I disagree with that.
Well, I understand, fast-paced editing to like emphasize a fight scene and stuff. I just didn't think it did that effectively.
It wasn't trying to do that. That's the point.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. No, you'd definitely more enjoy A Boy and His Dog. It's odd, but definitely shot in a more traditional manner and plays out sort of more straight. But it's a good film. If anyone's watched it, you can agree with me in the comments, which we'll never read or care about. We despise you all secretly.
We're deliberately recording this before you got your platelets taken out, and oh shit, they're supposed to be blue.
Yeah, you made me get up at like fucking 9:30 in the morning.
Well, I was hoping maybe you'd have some...
first day of holidays.
I was hoping you could put it in a more energetic performance.
This game is vampiring away my will to live, you puckered orifice.
Well, you just managed to get some energy from somewhere. Finally,
ever-simmering contempt for you.
Well, I should be offended, but you just seem to have contempt for
that little sigh was what?
Whoopsie, something went wrong.
You put torsos on torsos. You're gonna be fired, you cum dump.
Oh dear, there must have been a conveyor belt going the wrong way somewhere.
Oh Jesus, now we gotta do this again.
Well, it wasn't gonna get much more interesting in the next level, I'll admit that.
Fucking butthole. You know what my next game's gonna be? Fucking Seaman, and it's gonna be just an hour of me trying to get Seaman to call you a twit.
I don't care. I'm gonna write a poem and read it out or something. Well, since you're so bored by the game, shall we do a topic?
Yeah, okay, let's try one of those.
Well, we've received some news about The Sims 4, which I believe is slated for September.
Cool beans!
And the news is The Sims 4 will have less features than The Sims 3 on launch, and EA are telling you to basically go stick your head up a tailpipe if you want to complain.
It's funny, like, because you've got it written up here, like Yahtzee has, like, the topics written up, and it just says Sims 4, no pools or toddlers on launch, which is just a funny kind of collection of things for me. Is that meant to be going counterclockwise?
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. No.
Gabriel saves the day. Gabe can fix it.
So you're helping. Don't you feel invested now?
No.
Well,
kill the rat. Yeah.
Well, fuck you.
I don't know. Maybe if there was like an employee stock option system where, if you shipped more units, I'd see some sort of,
Well, then it would just be papers, please, wouldn't it?
Vastly more entertaining game. So what does it say?
Yes.
While we recognize that some of you will be disappointed that pools and toddlers...
Let me do the dramatic reading.
Okay, do it in a funny voice.
While we recognize that some of you will be disappointed that pools and toddlers won't be available when The Sims 4 base game launches in September, you should know that we're building an incredibly strong foundation that is capable of fulfilling every one of your desires in the years to come.
Translation, get ready to fork out for expansion after expansion, you fucking pleb.
You know what makes me giggle is just, how are those two things related? Like, pools and toddlers. Like, it just seems odd. Like, I can understand if, like...
Well, it's just, of all the features in The Sims, those are two being removed. And I'd argue that the pool is an almost iconic feature of The Sims, because it's one of the best ways to murder your Sims.
Yeah, but again, like, yeah, you put them in the pool, you take out the ladder, and they drown.
Actually, I think that was removed in, like, later Sims games, but whatevs. It's still a sign of wealth.
My cousin used to do shit in The Sims, like, he goes, look at this, and just builds a fence around a guy and starts kissing his girlfriend in front of him until he gets mad and shits himself.
Yeah,
it's just
you
like,
can do that.
It's a
just
weird
build a fence
hobby you
around.
have.
Build a fence around them. They just can't puzzle that one out.
Just, like, you know what I mean, though? Like, no pools or toddlers, like, if it was like no pools or baths or something, it'd be like, we haven't got the water effects finished yet. We're working on getting some real U-Butte water effects for you. Or if it was like no toddlers and ugly kids or some shit, then it'd be like, okay, they haven't got some models done. But just no pools or toddlers is such a, you know, it's a, I'm confused as to how the two things could possibly relate, but...
Well, they don't. It's just the,
I know,
it's
the incongruity that's making me giggle.
Just the two features they're not having in it. And presumably by no toddlers, they mean that the Sims are just going to go straight from larval stage to child stage.
So there's a separate...
Okay, they seem to be coming together this time.
Oh, maybe we can succeed. What does the little lamp on the left-hand side mean?
What lamp?
The fucking burning lamp on your little bar on the left-hand.
That's how much time you got left.
Oh. Oh, running low.
Okay. She managed to get away from the paint vat. For just short enough a time to take care of the new red toys as they come in. Yes.
In my mind, I'm trying to imagine some kid excited to get this at Christmas. Oh boy!
I think it's quite an interesting game. I mean, obviously it's got its flaws, but...
Yeah, I think you're coming at this from, like, an adult who works with video games and thinks about, like, as a critic, yeah, sure.
I think there's some interesting raw concepts in here that video games should rediscover. It's about making sure everything's ticking over at once. It's about diligence.
Duty, responsibility, work for your wage.
Blue.
Another piece of news we had. Oh yeah, Philips suing Nintendo.
Well, can we talk shit about EA a bit more?
Oh yeah, sure. Fuck EA.
Fuck you, EA. Because I don't even know why I'm surprised, because they did exactly the same thing with The Sims 3. The Sims 2, there was a start, the game launched with a bunch of different scenarios you could use. Like, there was the standard Norman Rockwell style world, but you could also play in sci-fi world where people could turn into aliens, or fantasy world with vampires and shit.
That's actually a good idea. Like, yeah, like just have a full Sims but with a bizarre setting.
But when The Sims 3 came out, it was just, no, only Norman Rockwell land, and fuck you.
The Sims in...
Did we win this time? Well, we got the blues in.
Go blue!
Fingers crossed.
Testes crossed. Alright, come on. Looking good.
Looking good, just one more red. There we go. We're sitting pretty.
Oh, thank you, God. Get me out of this fucking hell.
Yeah, we knocked it out of the park, actually. It's not going to get much better.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, only one fuck up of each. I was diligent with my colour changes. Oh, there's another. And another fuck up.
One fuck up per.
Who cares? Met the quota. More than my job's worth. It's now blue Jawas, yellow stormtroopers. Cowardly stormtroopers.
Cowards.
Oh, we're going to have some loading again. Well, this'll give us a chance to concentrate on conversation for a bit. So Nintendo versus Philips, eh?
Yeah, Philips are basically doing a patent thing, which is I don't know, like this one I didn't have the energy to bother reading the actual, because last time we had a patent discussion I actually read the fucking thing.
Don't buy The Sims 4, it's going to be shit. Sorry, continue.
And this one, I don't want to comment exactly precisely on it, but it feels spurious. Just because they're talking about... So help me God if this isn't recording, we have to play
No,
this.
we're fine.
Good. Every now and then Yahtzee looks at the recorder. And
Yes.
fucking notice. What's that big punching glove looking thing?
Well, this is the new feature. And this was the level I played to, but I didn't get past. I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I think if the switch goes one way, the boxing glove will reject everything. And if it goes the other way, it will accept everything.
Okie dokie.
I guess it's a way you can... I'm not sure which is the right way, though. So I guess we'd better come down...
Have it facing the factory. That seems... I'd like to believe that's...
Yeah, that would make
sensible.
sense. But then, you know, a lot of things make sense on paper.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Philips says it's patented something a little while ago. I think 03 or something like that, that involves the use of a pointer and camera system to register movement and... play the game. And then, I don't know, I read some things to say that, like, you know, Nintendo's doesn't use a camera, it uses infrared, and it's only, like, I think it's a UK court that's sort of upheld a chunk of it, and Nintendo's appealing.
Well,
but they're also asking for, like, a halt to sales of the Wii and the Wii U in the States, which I think is maybe reaching a bit fucking far.
That's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, like, I can understand that if you were producing something. You know, if you were making a thing, if you're like, we're gonna release the new Philips fucking video game system with Wand of Gamelon 2, then sure, fine, but...
I had a Philips video pack.
That's weird. But it, you know, it just... This is what makes me feel like it's just sort of a bullshit fucking claim, is it's...
Okay, I gotta go down and make sure the boxing glove is working as advertised.
Maybe use an umbrella or some shit.
There's no rush just yet, and my umbrellas are finite.
Picked up so many, though.
We'll just follow a toy down the machine and make sure everything's hunky-dory.
So yeah, I think Philips is kind of just piping bullshit here. I think at worst, Nintendo will have to make some sort of trivial payout that they'll get halved on appeal. I think
yeah, Philips are just like, hey, these guys have deep pockets.
Yeah.
We want some of that.
Because again, like, I didn't read the deets, but from what the article I read
bugger.
Described it, yeah, it was based on, like, use of a camera, and again, the Wii U doesn't use, or the Wii and the Wii U don't use cameras for their sensor bar stuff. I don't know.
Okay, we're fine. The boxing glove seems to be letting them through, alright.
Tick! Alright.
I better get back up to the paint vat before the stormtroopers start coming in. Oh shit, stormtroopers are coming in. Bugger. See, this is why I hate manual labour. I did a temp job in a dog food factory once. It was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, that's great. What did you do?
I lasted 1 day.
Doesn't surprise me in the slightest. What was your job?
You know, just sorting cans, throwing away the dented ones.
Really? You couldn't do that for a day?
Well, a night.
A night?
And it was an arse.
See, that's the kind of job I'd like. I can just sort of tune out.
Well, I was too physically frail. I was only a teenager trying to make some money. And I was young and skinny, and I just kind of overexerted myself and fell ill.
I tried work once, it made me sick.
I was not a sporty lad. I was a writer. What do you want?
I suppose you could have written, advertorial content for their dog food. I should have offered that.
I did shitty work. I worked data entry in an office. That was my brand of shitty work. I think everyone should have to do shitty work at some point, and that was the piper I paid.
How long were you a data entry clerk?
Ages. I worked there for a couple of years to make the money to move to Australia.
Huh.
Then when I was in Australia, I took some data entry jobs with a temp agency because I found I quite liked data entry. It was very mindless.
You moved out here before you had any kind of real means of supporting yourself.
Quite. Well, I did have some savings that I made up from doing data entry.
Huh.
Oh, bloody lemmings.
I worked in a bar and I drank most of what I made. Put your little thingy down.
There we go. Yes.
So data entry is your grunt work, is it?
Yep.
What is data entry exactly? Like, what do you do? Like, what's data entry?
Well,
sit down at the desk.
Well, it can vary from company to company.
Yeah, well, I think.
But in my case, my longest data entry job, I worked for a surveying company. So what would happen is that I would be given survey forms that the surveyors in the field had entered. It's lucky we only had to make 2 of those.
That was fucking close.
Yeah. And I just had to enter all the details they had entered on the form into a big database. And I entered the data so well, because of my fast typing speed from all that writing I did, that I was also trained in the validation of data, so I could extend my skill set a bit. This is Luke, Vader, and I don't know what.
I'm gonna go Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that makes sense. In a hood. But this is 3 colors. Madness.
Oh, this is gonna go to shit.
We
You have to make 2 of both, which I think is weirdly specific. I think
well,
it's gonna
2 isn't much.
No, but I bet you're not gonna get a lot of each. I think it's gonna be tough. I think you're gonna cock it up.
I think we'll get by. Just remember the colours. That's the important part, because there's no way to remind yourself what colours are needed once you're in the level.
That sucks pain.
So I think it was red Luke, blue Vader, yellow Obi-Wan.
My shitty work when I was younger was removalist.
Well, you enjoy that, don't you? Because when I was moving here, I couldn't keep you away. You were like, "Let me know if you need help. Let me know if you need help."
That's not how it happened, but I just...
You just fight for the opportunity to show off your useless big muscles.
I love how, like, I helped you move and you described the muscles as useless.
Well...
If it were really, if it wasn't for me, it would have been like you and Matt, which are like 2 people who saw exercise once.
It's not a day-to-day use, is it?
You'd be surprised, man. And it's very valuable when it's around. That's the thing. It's better to have it and, you know, not need it than to need it and not have it. I mean, the amount of times I've had, like, just weird calls, it's like, okay, Gabe, I need you, like, just this is weird, but can I, what the fucking hell?
I don't even know. Who are you? What? I don't even know.
Okay, what items do you have? You've got, like, a hobo fucking up your shit.
I don't even know how to respond to the hobo.
Go through your items. There's got to be something that gets rid of them.
Fucking item menu.
What's that? What are half of these things? Is that a torch?
Well, that's a match.
Okay, so go right.
Yeah, just try this on him.
I don't think that's
Come and get it.
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks.
Okay, what's the thing just to the left of the hand, though?
That's a vacuum cleaner.
Okay, it's got to be an item. Like, you can't just
that's for the rodents. I think I just have... Maybe I just have to kick this guy. Come up here so I can kick you.
I'll take you, Huh. Alright, maybe he's just an omnipresent sort of pain in the ass.
That is a pain in the ass. Well, at least he doesn't seem to be, like, flicking switches. Like the lemmings do.
Can't fucking Industrial Might and Logic hire a security guard or some shit? Like, I think this goes above and beyond your fucking duties. Like...
Well, you know, maybe the unions would complain.
There's gotta be... What's that? Okay, that's a match.
Yeah.
Oh.
Piss off.
He's Industrial Might and Logic's new compliance officer. He just runs around and beats you if he doesn't think you're working hard enough.
Oh, bollocks.
There's gotta be some way of getting rid of him.
Well, it doesn't seem to be. Right. Now we're going. We got Luke Skywalker's coming up. And we've got a paint vat full of red, I think. Yes.
Puke Guy Porker. There's gotta be some way, like, I don't know, so balloon gets you up, umbrella gets you down,
yes.
Spanner, vacuum.
That's it.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Oh, dicks.
Piss off.
Oh, fuck yourself!
If only he could fall into the workings of the machine and die.
Yeah. I'm gonna look this up. I'm curious if just Jerk is not someone you can get rid of.
I'd be very surprised if you found any information on this game at all.
You found an FAQ?
Well, yes. But I can tell you now it contained no information on this, because I looked through it all.
Huh.
Fuck, there's a lemming now as well!
Life's hard for Yahtzee.
Well, thankfully I got rid of him.
I think you're gonna cock this up.
Ha ha ha.
I mean, it's not gonna be your fault exactly, because there's a jerk literally running around punching you while you're trying to work.
Well, I've already made 2 Lukes and 2 Vaders. There's only a modicum of time left, but I reckon we can do it. Let's go! Yeah!
Have you pulled the chain? Oh, that's Vader's.
Oh,
still.
here we go. No, that was Obi-Wan. I need to get some yellow on.
Come on, Obi-Wan.
This is going to be tight. There's only a little bit of time left.
The guy seems to have gone away.
Oh, God. We probably aren't going to make it, are they? Just because the machine takes so long. Why did I leave the bed this morning? Did you have a point on that Nintendo thing?
Just that I mostly think that, yeah, I think it's a fairly spurious fucking, ask from Phillips. I think that's, demonstrated by asking that there's no Wii's or Wii U's sold in the States, which I think is a massive overreach. I don't
think we're going to make this one. Gotta be honest. No, we didn't make any Obi-Wans at all. Fud! Bollocks.
I think maybe if you kick that dude enough times, he doesn't get back up. Just like in real life.
Well, he doesn't really get in the way of the machine, he just gets in the way of you. He's not.
Well, yeah, but when it's a time-based thing, like...
Well, he's not a huge annoyance. When... It's just because we panicked a bit when we saw him. And
Who's that?
And because I didn't get the Obi-Wans painted in time.
There's another guy in here. What's he doing? Oh, he's punching you. What a great job this is.
Well, yeah. We're working for Hollywood. We're living the dream.
Living the dream. I'm actually an actor. I'll take some of my headshots.
This is just to pay my way through drama school.
This is actually how Harrison Ford got started.
I hear he ran into some difficulties on the Star Wars shoot.
Yeah, I think he broke a thing. So they managed to break Harrison Ford. Which isn't surprising, given that he's an old man now.
Well, they'd be well advised not to put the old actors too much in the new Star Wars, because I remember I was hearing a review about the new Star Trek films, the first of the new Star Trek films. They're saying it was alright to have Leonard Nimoy in there, but it would have been a mistake to have Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner in there, because then it would have been the old Kirk and Spock.
Yeah.
Everyone would have just focused on them and said,
Nimoy's, I think,
new ones are shit.
A little more, sort of credit, whereas I think Shatner is almost a human novelty just by himself, like.
Shatner is the Emperor with no clothes, but who is fully aware that he's naked.
The Emperor with no clothes who just likes his dick to feel the breeze. Just so content to be a jerk on the internet, it's kind of funny to watch.
I've bloody one-button control systems.
At Commodore, we've just sped the whole process up by giving you a button to push. Back when control sticks were it was just a stick with a red button on it. Hideous, horrible, terrible fucking design.
I kick you into the machine.
Boot!
I hope you are ground up.
You've made 2 red Lukes, 2 blue Darth Vaders, 2 yellow Obi-Wans, and one painted bum.
One mangled bum.
Mangled hobo. Gonna feed him to the machine. That's really annoying. Like, you just can't fucking get rid of him.
Fuck.
I need to give you, like, a super boot that you can kick him in the face with.
No, we're stuck with this guy. We're just gonna have to keep kicking him in the face.
We got rid of him last time, though.
That's how you should approach.
He stopped coming back.
This is how you should approach the hopeless. Like I said, a charitable act is just a one of ego. And I'm not saying a charitable act can never have a positive effect for the recipient, but...
You do realise they often do, right?
I know they often do, but my point is you shouldn't point to your acts of charity as a sign that you are a good person.
I don't know, see, I think someone that does... Well, I mean, this was what... Like, it's been an issue throughout time. That was why, the thing about keep your left hand ignorant of what the right hand's doing, like... I think it's provided, which is an impossibility, but provided you're constantly paranoid about it, I think that's the most anyone can really ask.
Well, just stop worrying what anyone else thinks, and then you won't have to do charity at all.
Well, no, then you just. I don't know. It feels nice to give.
Well, that's entirely my point. It exists only for your benefit.
Well,
I mean, you don't know where your money's going to be used. Might be getting embezzled. Might get misappropriated.
I tend to just give, bums a bit of cash with which they'll use to buy, booze.
Or smack.
Yeah. One time when I was in Melbourne,
shit,
actually...
it's Luke again.
One time when I was in Melbourne, actually, this guy just walked up to me, and, like, in Melbourne, there are a lot of fucking panhandlers on Brunswick Street, like, just crazy more than in Brisbane. So you kind of just get inured to them, like, you just stop caring. But...
yeah, it's like canvases in Brisbane.
oh, God, I hate those. But,
like,
this guy's just walked up, and I was ready to say no, and he's just gone, hey, mate, do you have $3 so I can get my methadone? And I'm like, you know what? Yes.
Well, methadone's just like the heroin equivalent, isn't it?
Well, it's...
that they use to get people off the smack.
yeah, it's generally it's used to get people off the fucking smack, because it's less, it's... I can't remember exactly the chemical
Less
thing,
is more.
But that was honest to me, you know? Like, dude needed his fucking methadone, and if you need methadone, you probably really need methadone. So it was just like, yeah,
You know, when
alright.
heroin was first introduced, it was advertised as a less addictive form of morphine.
Yeah.
So all
We
the,
should
all
have
the,
stressed less addictive, but still super addictive.
all the fun of morphine without that tiresome destroyed life thing.
Opiates. Gotta be careful.
Okay,
Opiates.
we only needed 2.
I look forward to seeing this fail again, and so we can go through this whole nightmare over.
What? I'm having fun. Perhaps I will drink your tears.
You're a nutsack.
Well, I got the Vaders down. Yay! Yellow. We got a bunch of yellow Kenobis. I got a yellow Kenobi, but that'll teach me to go to an unlicensed brothel.
Ew. Penises.
I'm really bored.
Yeah. How long have we been doing this?
Over an hour.
Oh,
Are
thank
you
you.
amazed?
Thank you, God.
Oh, an introduction to color mixing.
Uh,
We have to make green.
R2D2 and we're Dalek and C3PO. This is just drained my soul.
Aren't you having fun?
Aren't you lucky, viewers? You know, this will get like 50,000 people watching and just be like, why?
And they'll go,
alright,
ooh.
and
They'll go, ooh, what an intriguing game. Perhaps
Roll
I should
on
look
a-
into it. I think there was an Amiga version of this.
yeah. You know what this needs is a wacky modern update, just dripping with irony.
And a Facebook version. You can say, you
With
failed this.
microtransactions.
You failed this time. Would you like to pay a micropayment to make all your bad decisions disappear?
Yeah. Would you like to just buy a wrench?
Well, that would be nice. It would give you a use for all this bloody money. Wait a minute. These fans are new.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Is that a new responsibility?
Yeah, well, duh, it's there.
Oh,
Shit, there's a lot of stuff.
yeah. There's all kinds of bollocks.
Oh god, everything's hard.
Oh, I had to
the
turn these
fuck?
on now. How inventive.
What do those do?
Well, they're the paint sprayers.
Uh,
Man, it'd be hard to miss that, though. Okay.
I don't know, like,
Oh, it's you again.
fucking Roger the jerkbag vagrant.
Roger the Jerkbag Vagrant, you say?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Roger the Dodger there. He was a character from the Beano.
What's the Beano?
It was a children's British comic book.
Oh, okay.
In
That
which-
was why you
which
said
also-
Roger Dodger to me earlier. Have you been reading that or something?
No,
Time's running out while you're fighting with this hobo.
I know. That's the game.
Game. Again, that's a generous description of this occurrence.
La 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 la. Ask my mother, what would I
Do your version of What's Up by Four Non Blondes.
No.
Yes. He sings it after he's had, like, his first cocksucking cowboy shot of the afternoon.
I'm not your performing monkey.
That's literally what you do. You are the world's performing monkey. That is how you make your money. You have said this, that you are the circus. What do you think you are in the circus? You are the performing monkey.
I'm the ringleader.
A ring. A ring is what you are. Alright, let's try and get this miserable show on the road.
No, you know what? I'm bored.
Alright, so Yahtzee wins most boring game.
Yeah? And here's a screen full of garbage.
And some basic bites.
Let's invent a better game. 10
Let
What
me
is your name? 20 input a $sign. 30 print is a knob. Run. What's your name, Gabe?
Yahtzee.
Gabriel.
Hey.
Gabriel is a knob.
Isn't knob supposed to have a K in it?
I think either works.
I don't know. This looks weird without the K.
It's slang. Slang can be whatever you want. It can be the new thing.
Welcome to Newspeak.
Maybe it's
no more K's in knob.
Maybe it's a shortening of nobbled, which is not spelled with a K.
What's nobbled? Like,
It's just a generic term meaning, like done in, like messed up.
Okay.
Like, this work has been nobbled. This entire shipment of toys has been nobbled by your negligence.
Depressing drown-out has been a nobble from start to finish.
10 print.
Make it, can you code a game or something? Write a game for us.
Night, everybody. 20 print.
Hack the internet.
Gabriel remains a knob. 30. Go to 10. Run.
Okay.
Yes, what that said.
This is a long load time.
Yes. So how's your week been, Gabe?
I finished my exams for the semester.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Did you pass?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess so. Well, at least for history.
Have you acquired more skills you have no use for whatsoever?
Well, that's life, really, isn't it?
We were talking about this earlier. Like, you just seem to accrue skills you don't use. Like all that physical working out. You don't even bounce anymore.
I don't need. Well, exercise and good health is it's kind of like picking the perks in Fallout that let you like learn shit faster. Like that's a background perk. You don't specifically use it. Like you don't just go, I'm gonna use exercise at like a fucking fridge or some shit.
Well, you don't even have a job.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's about good health. And also it does come in handy. Like when I'm helping friends move and shit, I can move a whole fridge by myself now.
But you're
like
not,
a big one too.
But you're not contributing to society.
Oh, here we go. Says the man who makes knob gags.
Don't knock it, man. Brings the money in.
Well, the contribution is generously applied to that. Is this loaded now? Are we playing the game? Or are we gonna?
Here's the title screen again.
And again, I'm studying to be a teacher. Like that's a fucking contribution, you dickhole.
Hope you enjoyed that revisit of the title screen, because now we're going to load some more.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Sweet Christ, you played games like this, you sad prick.
Well, I got a lot of reading done when I was a C64 gamer.
Hear that, parents? Get your kids a Commodore 64.
Okay, I'm just teasing you. This emulator has a warp speed mode. So,
fuck.
Set course for the next bit. Engage, Mr. Crusher. Pew!
It's still slow. Even at warp speed, it's still slow.
It won't. Team print. Gabriel is a knob.
Well, now you spell knob.
Go to 10. Run. Well, I don't think you can say fairer than that. Hello, everyone.
That's not how you spell knob.
This is Yahtzee Crowshaw here, and here's my friend, a knob. But enough of that. We're playing Commodore 64 emulation style.
Whee!
In order to play Night Shift, a game I used to play when I was young. And to get the full experience of Commodore 64, we're going to wait for the whole loading to finish.
This is the kind of thing you'd yell at me for not editing out.
Well, partly because there's a couple of little things I need to clarify.
Okie dokie.
You know, we've said a lot of horrible things over the weeks, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I don't recall ever seeing a response as vocal as to the one we got last week when I said 30 FPS is sometimes as smooth, if not smoother, than 60 FPS in games.
What did I say? When you said that, I was like, just ting! I could hear the keyboards, I could hear them, and it's like, I'll tell you different!
Well, not that this is an invitation to continue the argument, because I think there is an argument. I think this is a subjective thing I have.
Well, there can be. Well, see, my argument is, yeah, you were discussing what you have as a subjective viewpoint. And again, we come from an era when, you know, these things weren't really a thing. Like, we used to play games on CRT. Like, I've played video games on black and white TV screens the size of, like, a playing card almost.
Yeah,
so,
me too, actually.
I think it might be easier for us to just not notice a difference because we're not so keyed to it.
I think it's just because I think something that looks like it's been shot on film kind of looks nicer to me than something that looks like it's been shot on tape.
Because
tape
looks a
looks
little bit as well.
I think it's possible to be too severe and too crisp. More loading. Welcome to the cassette era.
Cassette era. Era. Yeah.
Still, I think it's doing better than a lot of console games these days, especially on the Xbone. It was like 2 hours between putting the disc for Rise, Son of Rome in and before I could actually play the bloody thing, not even counting intro sequences and the like.
Did it have to do a big install?
Yep. Firstly from the dashboard, then firstly within the game. So you got
That seems a bit odd.
Got to see a lovely progress bar going for a while, and then you got to see another progress bar going for a while, but this time with nice Roman lithographic stuff around
Romany
it.
shit going on.
So the reason why I picked this game is because I remember not too long ago we were talking about how in the Commodore 64 era you could just have a game where you play someone just doing a job. Because we were talking about
mowing a lawn.
Because stuff like Viscera Cleanup Detail is not a new spin on video gaming; it's actually quite an old one.
Well, I remember on the Mega Drive there was a shitty box sliding puzzle called Shove It, the Warehouse Simulator.
Well, that's not exactly simulating someone's day at work, is it? That's just a puzzle game.
Well, yeah, essentially. But still.
Night Shift reminds me a little...
What is... Okay, what? What's the Night Shift at? Like, Night Shift where?
Okay, well, you're a Night Shift janitorial custodian maintenance staff type fellow.
Okie dokie.
Working at a toy factory. And
your little ones.
Your job is to ensure that the machine that you're tasked to constructs dolls in accordance with what you were ordered to create that shift. As long as you create the minimum quota of what you have to make.
I'm trying to work out what the gameplay is from this. I'm guessing like...
Well, you'll be interested.
Match. Is it a match thing where you gotta...
Nope.
Oh, okay. Is it a platformer?
Well, let's wait and see, shall we? It's like putting a blur filter on so you can't see the individual pixels in a piece of pixel art.
Well, it's like how some of those TVs have a mode that makes everything look like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Like, and I fucking hate that. It just looks hideous.
So there's that. So
what was your point?
Well, the point was I just wanted to clarify that.
So it was a personal observation.
Because everyone was going, of course 60 FPS looks better than 30 FPS. It's like 30 more than 30 FPS.
Yeah. This was like how people can say that they enjoy records more than they enjoy CDs, even though the sound quality may be like demonstrably better.
So cunningly, you can't argue about this anymore because it's subjective. Ha ha. Oh yes, and thank you to the one person who pointed out that Rick Mail has done voice work for the games Hogs of War and Bud Tucker in Double Trouble. Thank you also to the 12 million other of you who also pointed that out but couldn't be asked to pay slightest bit of attention to the comments and see if anyone else had pointed that out. Oh, we've started.
This is why I'm glad I don't really read the comments anymore.
Well, it's important to know that the internet's on your side.
That can be your job.
The internet can turn against you in nasty ways.
Yeah, like when you said that like 30 FPS was better than 60 apparently.
So this is Night Shift. It's a game by LucasArts you might not be familiar with. It's not
a game studio anymore.
Not a lot of people know about it. Yeah, it's really kind of indie and hipster.
In order will cause no problems. However, if shifts are worked out of sequence, one of those pesky
boring.
Works.
Do we want to be Fred or Fiona? Fix it.
Is there like a difference?
Nope. Entirely cosmetic.
Oh, okay.
Well, since we're both men,
shit, then.
let's be Fred Fix It.
Okay.
See Ubisoft, it's that easy.
That's so heteronormative of you, Artie.
And now...
I was feeling female today.
And now we'll be there for much longer. There we go.
Fucking...
Okay.
Industrial might and logic.
Do you get it?
Huh.
Because it's the lesser-known LucasArts game. It's a pun on Industrial Light and Magic, the LucasArts company. So yes, this is the password screen. Remember passwords?
Yeah.
This is fruit-based.
I see.
But we've just...
Pick all bananas.
I'll just drop a save state there, actually.
Look, your thing's a little stormtrooper.
So our first task is to create 5 stormtroopers.
Oh, okay, so that's a toy you're gonna make.
Okay, ready for action.
It's funny that LucasArts made a game about the most profitable sort of element of Lucas.
Oh, it's just going to load it for a bit more. This is unusually a lot of loading for Commodore 64, actually.
So I suppose LucasArts were like pushing the edges of, gaming capabilities even back in the C64 days.
Shit like Dizzy, you load once and then you just play.
Dizzy.
This takes about 3 times as much.
The first time we sat down and spoke over a video game.
I don't really want to warp speed at this point because... Oh! Here we go. Here's the game. We are the maintainer of this vast Rube Goldberg-style machine. First thing we do is make sure the lights are flashing at a fast pace to keep the power up.
Okay, how do you accomplish this task? What are you doing at the moment?
I'm riding this bike.
Yeah, I mean, what are your hands doing?
I'm just knocking the joystick left and right.
Oh, so it's back, forward, back, forward, back, forward.
Yep, so that's working.
So
basically
you're able to jump there.
We're in the workings of a giant machine.
Uh-huh.
And in this first level, there's very little we have to do. Like, in future levels, we might have to make sure the conveyor belts and other things are all moving in the right direction.
Oh, Jesus.
But at this stage, it's fairly straightforward. You'd of course need the manual.